Solo traveling. It's one of the scariest things you can do, especially if you never tried it before. I still remember my first solo trip to Bali. I was nervous, uncertain, and completely out of my comfort zone. But that journey ended up teaching me lessons that changed the way on how I travel and even life. So in this video, I'm going to be sharing those experiences with you. The challenges, the surprises, and the lessons I learned. So if you ever thought about solo traveling, make sure you stick around towards the end. I thought I'd just make a quick video on here are some life lessons I learned from solo traveling. So the first life lesson I learned from solo traveling is meeting new people, because when you actually solo travel, it actually gives you an opportunity to meet new people, because since you're by yourself, it actually forces you to get outside your comfort zone to talk to strangers, because since you have no one to talk to, you have to meet new people to talk to. And it's kind of interesting because I remember on that day when I arrived in Bali, I didn't know anyone, so I actually had to put myself out there to talk to strangers, to network, because when you're solo traveling, you're always by yourself, right? And then in order for you to have a good time to talk to people, you actually have to socialize with people. And that was actually a bit of a hard thing to do at first, because I wasn't used to it. Like, oh yeah, I didn't know anything. It was actually fun because I met a few people like in Bali. Like, for example, when I arrived in the first day, I met up with a photographer who lived in Bali, and I didn't know him at first. Like, I met him through Instagram. I just did a DM, and then we ended up hanging out, and he introduced me to some of his other friends that were there on that day. And then another few days, I ended up meeting a few other like international people, like from like all over the world. Such I met like a friend from China who was like solo traveling there, and I met like another videographer friend who was from Austria, where we ended up going and shooting. And that's the thing, it makes you a bit more sociable. So that's kind of the first lesson I actually learned from solo traveling for the first time in Bali. And another point I want to mention is that it actually helps you grow as a person, because generally when you go solo traveling first time, right, is that you don't have to rely on other people to do things, because you can pretty much do whatever you want. Like, for example, you don't have to rely on your friends to go to this certain place. You don't have to rely on your parents to go to this certain place. Like, you can basically do whatever. And it teaches you to get to know who you are as a person, like do the things you actually want to do. Like, for example, when I was in Bali, I didn't have like a tight schedule to where I can go, because I can basically do whatever I want. I don't have to rely on anyone. I can stay up late. I can go to this spot whenever I want to, and you can do whatever you want. You're a bit more independent. Like, you're under the schedule. And point number 3 I learned from solo travel is that you get to pick up new skills, such as you get to learn how to get around places. So like when I was solo traveling in Bali, it taught me how to ride a scooter, which is something very uncomfortable. I didn't know how to do, because riding a motorized scooter is so outside my comfort zone. Because when I was in Nusa Penida, which is like an island off Bali, but I remember when I arrived there was 2 options I could have done. I could have either gone like a driver to take me to certain places, or rent a scooter. But I decided to just rent the scooter since it was my first time doing it. So I just did it, and it went on and taught me how to like ride a scooter from A to B. So I generally think when you solo travel by yourself, you learn so many skills, and it teaches you how to like learn a new language. I reckon, in my opinion, it's like you'll teach you how to speak the native language in general, and also it teaches you how to become more aware, how to get to A to B. It makes you a bit more street smart. Point number 4 is it makes you become a better problem solver, because when you solo travel, you're kind of independent. Like, there's no one relying on you to do things. Figure out how to get to certain places, or how to find food, or even it teaches you how to like problems when things are not going well. For example, when I went to this specific waterfall in Bali, I ended up crashing my drone. And when I crashed my drone, it actually made me a bit more like scared and problem solved. Like, oh, how am I going to get my drone back? And luckily, I ended up getting my drone back because one of the local people ended up finding it. But I have to pay like $250 or $230 USD. Pretty expensive. And when you like solo travel, it teaches you how to be a bit more calmer, how to get around things. And it just teaches you how to be a bit more independent. That's what I learned from solo travel in Bali. So I guess that's kind of end the video. And if you plan to solo travel in any way, I do recommend it. I'm telling you, it'll help you grow as a person. And if you like this type of content, you like photography, videography, or travel content, consider like and subscribe. And I'll catch you next video. All right, see ya. Bye.